Hi there. So back in April, I did kind of a sneak peek of an upcoming refresh 006 that the GSA was just about to issue. And fast forward to today, we are in the middle of August 2021, and lo and behold, there is going to be another refresh, refresh 7. Uh, so I am again going to just kind of walk through this sneak peek into the changes that are going to be coming to the GSA solicitation and elsewhere. And there's not a whole lot, but you could see, by the numbers, there is kind of a lot. Not a lot of this is seeming to be a very big, monumental change to the way the GSA is doing things. But still, it's good to know. Good to know what's coming up. So to begin, there in item A here, you'll see that we are going to see a revision of the format of the available offerings attachment to the MAS solicitation. So there's an available offerings attachment in the solicitation, and there are going to be some revisions there. So when this is issued, I guess we're just going to have to go there and see what those revisions are. Doesn't say what they're going to be. One of the most important documents, though, in building your GSA contract, the price proposal template, which is basically taking your price list and plugging into the GSA's template here with all of the details that they want to see. This is going to be revised as well, various changes. So lots been changing with this document in the past few years, and it looks like that's going to continue. So next up, we have mention of some circulars and another kind of mention here of GSAR. I looked into this a little bit. GSAR doesn't seem to be a big change if you are a contractor, and that's basically who I'm directing this towards. But the circular, the Federal Acquisition Circular, links to a couple things here. Analysis for equipment acquisitions. So this may have some effect on purchasing equipment by the government and how they analyze acquisitions, pricing, probably something to do with price reasonableness and stuff like that. The other one here is that the micro purchase threshold, which says here, was 2,500. The threshold is currently 3,500, and the micro purchase threshold is currently 10,000. Applies to the word-based threshold to ensure continued alignment, so on and so forth. So this threshold kind of jumps around depending on different situations, it seems. I've never really had a good handle on what it is. I've heard it's kind of moving the way of being at 10,000 overall, but it looks like there's going to be some changes there. And then that's really about it with this. So let's close that down and head on back. Now we're going to move from A over to B, changes applicable to specific large category, subcategory, or SIN. So these are going to be the kind of the changes that are going to be enacted specifically to certain industry categories. To begin with, the human capital category, background investigation subcategory is going to see some sort of changes. Not sure what they mean. It looks like it's going to be some sort of maybe adding verbiage, something to that effect. The IT category is going to be removing this non-TDR, TDR-IT requirement, supplemental PPT, which is a good thing. This thing is very redundant, and it actually is kind of a way that COs or CSs at GSA kick off some of their competitive research onto the contractor or the consultant like me, which I never mind doing, but it's a document that says it's not really mentioned anywhere in the solicitation, so it's not a requirement, but then they throw it at you midway through the process. Seems like they made the right decision to either get rid of it or they could have added it as a requirement for IT. I wouldn't have minded that either. So the third one here, professional services category, has a few of them. Environmental services, they're revising the hazardous waste, financial services, third-party admin. They are revising that, it looks like, or they're adding a new SIN rather. So they're adding a new SIN. Technical and engineering services, they're adding a new SIN for all other professional. So that's kind of good. Security and protection, they're just making a small change, it looks like, to some documentation around protective services. And then item 5 here, transportation and logistics, something about just revising some of the requirements for this particular SEN 532111. And then that is really about it. There was a webinar a few days ago. So unfortunately, you'll have missed that. I will have a link to this page here on the blog post that this video is going to be up on. And if you come here, you can see everything I'm seeing here and everything I went through. There are also other attachments down here that you can dig into. You can see, oh, look, it looks like there is the new Refresh 7 PPT. So we could take a look at that. In fact, let's download that and see if we can notice any changes right off the bat. So, all right, so we still have the pricing terms. This all looks the same, but this looks different. This is for services and training. So customer group, okay, percent of gross sales. So they moved that from that CSP over into here. That is definitely a change. The economic price adjustment clause. So, okay, so they made some changes here. This is pretty dramatic, by the way, by how the GSA works. Normally changes are much smaller. Now let's look at service pricing tab. Everything here looks pretty normal so far. Security clearance, yeah, it looks pretty much all the same. The escalation chart, I'm sure, is about the same. Courses and training looks really similar. So that's about it. It's just some changes to the pricing terms tab, which is just fine. So final draft. So yeah, you can come here and you can look across all of these different documents, open them up if you really have the time and want to dig in. When this mod comes through, it's going to come through as a mass mod for Refresh 7. You'll have 90 days to accept that. Otherwise, your GSA will probably send you some sort of threatening email. But yeah, that is about it. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, josh@gsafocus.com. Thanks for watching.